Hi, I'm Jeff with Enjoy Our Yard. Using gravel at the bottom of a pot. I always thought that was important to aid in drainage, and I found that it's really not the case and it can actually work against you. So here's some rationales to why. I've got two pots here, each of which has a hole in the bottom. So first, we typically take like an old dryer lint cloth or use coffee filter. I'm going to put one stone at the bottom of that just to keep the soil from running out. And this other one, I've added 1 cup of crushed stone. If I then add the soil on top of that, I found there's room for about 8 more cups without compressing too much. This other one would probably hold closer to 10 because the rocks you can't compress. So not even looking at the volume of the plant that you're putting in here, you'll find that the first one with 1 stone obviously is going to have more soil. So now the roots can expand, and that may save you time from having to transplant as often. But here's where the science comes in. When you water the plant, and typically you want to water from the top down, gravity is going to pull that water down, but only if there's enough room for the gravity to really take effect. If you've got soil with a fairly narrow rim and then you have your bed of gravel, the soil is going to wick the water more than the gravity is going to let it flow. So in this first pot, where I would have the whole area for the soil, it's going to allow it to wick, but gravity will help the water pull down. This other one with the bed of gravel is not going to do that. And when push comes to shove, the wicking always wins. So right there is one reason why the water is going to stay longer here. The other science behind it is when the smaller particle size, which is your potting soil, when the water hits that, before it's going to want to cross over to the larger particle size, the rocks, it's going to spread out and stay in that same size. It likes that environment. For it to cross over, it's going to wait until that area is saturated. So the water won't necessarily drain, but it's going to retain in the soil, which you think might be good, but ultimately that's going to be bad because the roots now are going to stay wet longer, and you really want to have that action of the water going through so that the soil can start to dry out again. So maybe that's some science behind the rationale.